Alrighty, can you believe it? It is week 15 of our class, and we are at the end pretty much. So for this class, you have everything you need except for the Learn Together work. And in week 16, which is week after next, is the last week you have a lecture. So we're down to the end. When you look at the content that you have, right? So 116. So that really ends the all-important content related to that, writing that authentication API that you need to do. So you have a week to, as a matter of fact, as I've said before, and I'm going to highly recommend again, you actually have everything you need to go ahead and start working on your Dev 2. Okay, but just to help you, what I did here is I drafted the requirements for you, with you. Want your feedback is the point about this. So take what you've done for Dev 1 and implement API routes for all the CRUD operations. We've been talking about CRUD this whole time, so take whatever you did for Dev 1, and that's related to your own concept, right? Because the second part of it was the demonstration part of having it set up. So it's really your concept that you create, that you came up with, and then create, read, update, and delete routes for both a user and your app-specific content. Use models to implement the methods you require. Now, of course, there's some that we saw in the course for updating the password, getting the token, right? And so I want you to use that same functionality to implement your specific methods. If you have any questions about that, chat with me. But it's basically saying the code that you wrote, you're going to implement as a method on the model, okay? Have all routes in a separate file. And of course, auth for all routes that require auth. And as we know, it's to log in, create user are the two that do not. Everything else should. And then the last thing, and this is me adding on top just a little bit, is create one route that will give return, return a type of reporting of your data. Example, statistics or other things, but I want you to actually create one route not related to the CRUD operations, although we could consider it a read, right? But I want you to create one that gives some kind of data reporting about the data that you have in your system. Now, would that require authentication? Yes, but it would also be statistics that would run over all the data. So it's not user specific, it's system specific. So you'll have to manage that, but that should be fairly easy because you can write reports that pull across multiple pieces of data. Anyway, chat with me if you want to know more about that. This is a little new requirement I've added since the last time I taught this, because I just think it's helpful for you to know how to write that stuff. Okay, and normal code review as normal. You will demonstrate this on your system during our Zoom session, and I will have Zoom schedules out in the next week or so for that. Okay, so that's it, right? So that is your week 14 information and draft. So please give me any questions or comments that you have about that, and have a great weekend. 3 weeks away from being done. Hang in there and stay focused. Stay positive as you can. Peace out.